BFC, this is T-Luck, State of the BFC. With me, as always, are Mike and Kratos. How are you guys today?
I'm doing all right, man.
I'm doing
That's
great.
good. And our guests this week are LSJ Crossfire and Bot Delta. How are you all?
What's up? Doing all right?
Not Delta, that's a weird name.
Well, you're in Bot, nigga.
Too
Alright.
bad.
So we're just going to go right to the interviews. First up is going to be Kratos interviewing our founder and glorious leader.
All right.
Take it away.
Hey, Delta. Glad you could come and join us today, man. You been doing all right?
I've been doing wonderful, Kratos. Just wonderful.
That's really great, man. This season you have joined up with Bot of all people. Needless to say, a while back it'd be hard to picture you wearing the Bot tags, man. Has it felt weird playing for Bot?
Yeah, when we initially started the whole concept of doing this, it was because the TS idea fell apart, mainly Jeffrey Dugan's fault. But that's where we started.
We're talking shit already.
Already, I gotta start early.
All right, let's keep it going, buddies.
And A-Hole, I approached A-Hole about possibly just not even joining up with Bot, but kind of like making a separate thing because it seemed like most of his team had fallen apart. But he said he still had Bio and Kintaro, who are decent players in their own right. So I decided to just join up with them because they needed an NG.
That's pretty cool. It's definitely weird to see you with the Bot tags. A-Hole and you have had like a super interesting relationship and a history together. You definitely had a lot of arguments and disagreements like so many times in the BFC before. Are you guys able to put your differences aside for the sake of winning?
Interesting relationship would be putting it nicely. It's easy to get along with him when he's on your team. And I was told this by Bio before, I was told this by Kintaro before, because whenever I got mad at A-Hole, I was like, how can you guys even be on this team? They're like, oh, it's easy when you're on this team because he's a player and he supports you. Now he'll talk trash to us all match, but it's like not on the same level, and it's honestly been easier than I expected. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult, but he's also we've both matured a lot since then, not just him, but obviously he's matured a lot too.
Yeah, let's talk more about how you guys like play together. What's it like being able to play alongside A-Hole's Rocket? Do you guys work together well? Do you guys rage at each other at all? Like, what goes on like actually in the game? Like, how do you guys work together?
I would say that A-Hole and I don't really actually work together very much. We typically take separate opposite sides of the map. It just depends on the map. I mean, obviously you go with the flow. The opening strategies, once they're developed to any degree. But a lot of times I don't pair off with A-Hole. It just one battle, I guess, we paired off together, and the problem was we were rolling through on the one side, but we weren't getting any of the bases. So we don't typically pair off on each other's backs. But he's been we do rage at each other a little bit, especially when we lose to Mill. That
Well, usually you don't want to have the power classes running together. It's more like it usually is like a Rocket will be on one side of the map and Engineer will be on the other side of the map. Do you feel confident having like A-Hole on the other side of the map, and you could just hold down your side of the map and he'll be holding down his like fort?
It definitely I think it's not fair for me to compare this team to AON or even PP, because I could have Iceman run on the other side and I could have confidence in him, and then in AON I'd lack on the other side and I had confidence in him. But before season 10, I didn't have a Rocket for the longest time that was dominant on the other side. So it is just to continue that string of having a Rocket on the other side.
Yeah, for sure. It's always good to have some Rocket who can just hold the ground. And they usually will always be consistent, and A-Hole's like one of the most consistent players for sure. There's been a lot of switching players for Bot at the grunt and sniper position. Do you feel that you guys are getting closer to figuring out your optimal lineup?
No. A-Hole and I don't even agree on what our optimal lineup is. We know us two, and that's pretty much set in stone. They've tried twice to play with someone else at Engineer, and they've lost both. So, and we've tried to play without A-Hole at Rocket once, and we lost that one too. So that's pretty much, we're done experimenting with that. But the grunt and the sniper is still mixed up because Kentaro played really well, has played really well recently, especially last night. But, I mean, Bio almost had ER the other night. Snow has been impressive playing Grunt all season and just switching back to Sniper. So we'll see how it continues this season.
Well, there were a bit of questions when Snow Fox was playing Grunt instead of Sniper because she was known as a Sniper before. But a few days before the season started, you managed to pick up Snow Fox. Was that acquisition like crucial to Bot being as successful as they have been?
All right, so I think it's crucial, and I think it's funny because A-Hole didn't want her at all. A-Hole didn't think she was, and I pushed hard. I was like, if we're not gonna get Killa K, who I tried recruiting as well, I didn't even think Snow was available to us. I knew she was either going to be an STR or R at the time. I didn't know she was in R at the time. It's like, well, let's try to get Killa K. Killa K didn't seem very interested in playing, and I was like, well, even if he does play, he doesn't care. So I kept on pushing him to get Snow. He's like, Snow's not good, Snow's not good, Snow's not good. And then Snow played some mixed scrimmages, and we rigged one of the teams to be pretty much all Bot plus Snow at the beginning of the season. And we won 3-0 against a team that had Lack and Iceman on the other side. And that was kind of what set the pace for adding her to our team.
That's cool. It seems Kentaro can play any class he's told to and play it at a level that gives Bot a chance to win. Is it great having a flexible player like him?
I think Kentaro should be. See, it's not fair because I think all three Snow, Bio, and Kentaro are all like fifth man type of players. So I think one of them's gonna, when we do the fifth man award, I think one of them's gonna get cheated. I think they're all reasonable fifth man. With all due respect, Mike. But
Thank you.
I think Kentaro is playing excellent at whatever we tell him. I mean, even the match that he played Rocket at. We lost, but it wasn't necessarily his fault. He's got flexibility, so it's good to see that.
Yeah, I feel like Kentaro or Bio starting to be the fifth man for Bot. I feel like Snow Fox has kind of stepped into the starter role almost at Sniper at this point, maybe. But Biostorm, everyone knows how good he can play. He's been a bit amiss this season, though, for Bot. Can you give us any details on whether or not Biostorm is a part of the Bot master plan still for winning Season 12?
As I mentioned earlier, and I believe it was Mill guys on the chat box at the time. We don't even know our master plan, so I cannot confirm or deny.
A-Hole's not going to be happy to hear you said that.
The master plan is always alive, though. At
Correct.
least it's still a secret.
It's still secret. But Bryce is as clutch as they get. So we've all seen that, and in Bots championships, even A-Hole will admit, because A-Hole's come a long way since those championships. Bio is key for that. I believe he won an MVP, didn't he?
Yeah.
He won the Season 8 MVP, yes.
He's always going to be there. He's always going to be clutching. And he's the one that gets bitched at the most by A-Hole, and he just puts up with it. So
Well, that's just because A-Hole expects so much out of Biostorm, probably.
exactly. So he puts up with all, and I can't believe he does. So he'll be there, and I guarantee it.
Yeah, those two definitely have like a super interesting relationship. The Bot has had a hard time being consistent this season. You guys have been a bit streaky. We've seen Bot win 5 in a row and then lose 4 in a row or something like that. You guys have definitely been all over the place this season. Do you think you guys will be able to fix your consistency issues by the time playoffs come around?
Here's the thing. I don't think consistency matters that much by the time the playoffs come around, because AON, going into the playoffs, I believe we lost the last 3 matches headed into the playoffs. So I don't think I think we just need to be sure that we're playing well enough that when we get in the playoffs, it's that any given night mentality, and we feel we can take any team in the BFC. Obviously we've proven we can lose to any team in the BFC, but we feel we can take any team in the BFC too.
So you think you guys can come playoffs? You're going to be prepared.
Yeah. I completely agree. Even with our schedules being, a lot of the problem with us not being as active is my schedule is, I work a regular shift, and A-Hole usually works night shifts, and then Bryce works even later than that. So it's caused a lot of problems with us playing consistently, but I think we'll be on the right track.
If you can just get all those pieces together, and that's when playoffs will come. Speaking about something a little bit different, which engineer have you most enjoyed going up against this season, and why?
Well, this is easy. Based on last night alone, Kratos, you are. Last night
we have some good fights, brothers.
Yeah, last night was probably the best battle I've had in an NG one-on-one in a while. I'm not saying it's the best battle I've ever had. It was good though, and
Well, it was
so many,
bloody on both sides in our battles. Both of us were getting wrecked.
Yeah, we had so many ISOs on each other that I mean, I didn't do the greatest on, but I felt like I held my own to a degree, and it was fun.
You definitely got the better of me on Naboo for a little bit there. It was really good battles though. Like we always one-on-one though in every battle though, a lot. I feel.
That's how it's been for even when it was an AON when we played you guys. It was pretty much Delta. You go fight Kratos. We'll try to win the 3v3. So.
Yeah, we always usually get into a lot of long fights and fights that'll take a while, and then when someone dies, they'll just spawn at the base closest and just go right back at the guy, and it'll just keep on going like that for like a good 5 minutes. Yeah.
That's the fun thing. We keep on going at each other the entire time. Whereas,
well, one person dies, and then the other one just wants to come back and retaliate and get revenge.
It's not like we were playing MOH earlier, and I'm not hating on. I'm not talking crap on Snipes. Now, this is not the goal. But I got 3 kills on Snipes in a row, and then I didn't see him until he had awards at the end. It was smart. It worked out for them. They won the map. But I didn't see him until he got awards again. He left my side alone and went to the other side. So
that's the thing. Like you're definitely one of the hardest people to beat one-on-one. Like it's really hard to get awards by beating you. So like that is definitely the smart thing for Snipes to do. Maybe I gotta steal that from him. But then if I leave you alone, then maybe you'll get increased too. You know, that's why I just like to fight you, just so like I won't get increased maybe, but I don't think you will either.
And it's always been fun. Always been fun for all these years.
All right, now our last question, inspired by Thor, and you probably don't know him, but it's all good. If the world was invaded by aliens, and the only way to save the world was to defeat them in a match of Star Wars Battlefront 2, which 3 non-bot members would you choose to fight with you?
We're doing BFC era.
You can do You can do whatever you want. This is your question.
No.
I'm gonna keep a BFC era because not enough people listening know the old guys. But
that's fair.
As far as let's see, if I have to play, I'm playing engineer.
Definitely. I wouldn't want you playing sniper.
Well, I'm gonna play
Kappa.
I'm torn. It's a 1A and a 1B situation between Shoddy and Scars. But if I had to pick, I'm going to pick Scars because consistently he's been better. But Shoddy's been really good this season, don't get me wrong.
You can't go wrong one way or the other there.
Yeah, and then Sniper is probably even harder because in the BFC era between Parallel and Pimp, I'm going to go Parallel, but that is no disrespect.
That's another 1A, 1B, though.
Yeah, that's been so hard to pick. And then Rocket. I didn't play enough with Rocket Ho, and I've always called him bad, so I got to stick with that. I'm gonna pick Lack, but I don't think there's a clear cut. That's not as clear cut as that I would pick him. There's been a lot of Rockets that have jumped in and have been decent players along the time, so I go with Lack now because that's a recent memory.
Lack usually steps up in the biggest situation, so it's definitely a good pick to try and save the world.
Yeah, I feel like to save the world, Lack's probably a good call.
All right, that's the end of the Delta interview. I believe we're going to be interviewing Crossfire next with Mike handling that.
Yep. So, hello, Crossfire. I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your very busy day to come on the show. How has Season 12 been treating you?
Well, no problem, man. Season 12's been pretty fun. It's good to be back in the BFC and the community, and I've really been enjoying playing in matches and stuff.
That's good to hear, right? Because it's been a while since you've been involved. You definitely didn't play much last summer, if at all. Really, the last time I remember playing with you or against you was in Season 9. How has it felt coming back and playing Rocket for LSJ?
Well, it's been pretty interesting. I just feel like it works well because the guys on the team are always going to be there to pick up my slack because I'm always on tilt, and I've been doing kind of having some rough times, but I feel like it was just a great opportunity to fit in with LSJ because we all joke around, which keeps it loose, but then we have the ability to turn on the switch and take it pretty seriously. Except for Scars, because Scars is always trolling, but everybody else can turn on the switch and be serious.
Okay, so is it stressful in moments like that, playing for a clan that expects to win every match or even every map that they play?
I thought it was going to be stressful when I first came into the season, but like I don't really feel a lot of pressure because we got like three superstars on the team that I feel like will always just kind of take the pressure off me whenever I need, and I kind of like just sit back and I feel like I fit in well to the lineup because sometimes I know it's good to give Pimp or Scars a base because they have a better opportunity to get awards than me at some point, and I'll just run ahead. So it's
Right,
not
sometimes
as stressful. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes there's always a situation where somebody's closer to reduction than you are. But speaking of the superstars on your team, how has it been playing with Kratos specifically? Do you guys have a good synergy as a power class duo, do you think?
Well, I think if you would take the most experienced engineer in the BFC and then put him with like the most unexperienced rocket at the time, he kind of taught me a lot of things that helped me along the way. I've been slowly starting to catch up and get better at, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not really sure how everything's working out, but we kind of got a good thing going, so we're just gonna keep doing it.
I resent that experienced comment, by the way.
No.
So Pimp has incredible carry potential as well. Like his ceiling is extremely high. What does it feel like playing on a map when he's doing his thing and just not dying and killing everybody? What does that feel like?
I mean, when Pimp goes off, it's like a sigh of relief for me because then I know I can, whenever I feel like I'm doing pretty bad and I'm just throwing the map, I hear Pimp say, oh, I just got a triple kill, everything's all good.
Right.
So like it takes it takes the pressure off of Kratos more, in my opinion, but it definitely makes me feel more relieved.
And then lastly, let's talk about Scars. What do you think of how Scars plays? Have you had to change the way you play because of the way Scars plays? Like, has his play style affected yours, or?
Yeah, Scars plays different from any grunt. Like he always, I don't know, he plays like I think a grunt should play. He'll make like a sacrifice, whether it's jumping in on Polis or wherever, just running. Even if he just jumps on a mine and kills the enemy rocket for his own life, it's always like worth. And I guess a few things I've had to change playing with Scars is his nades are always on point and they always come out of nowhere. Nobody sees them coming, including me whenever I first started. So I would always like die to a nade while I was up close to an enemy, and I kind of like I've adapted to that and watched for his nades. And another thing is he has like no fear to just jump in somebody's face and go Morelli mode. So I kind of got a few double kills on him and the other team. So I just started learning to not shoot at Scars whenever he would jump on them.
Okay. So what do you think makes you unique as a rocket? What sets you apart from the other rockets? What do you do differently that other rockets aren't doing?
I mean, I think like the biggest thing is like the way that I settle into the lineup. I try my best not to like look for awards and carry as much as other rockets would, because I know that I don't know, if I try to be like the star on the team, I'm not gonna be the star. So I just try to play my best to fit in instead of like shine. That's kind of probably the biggest thing that sets me apart is just I'm not really looking to make the All-Star game or whatever. I'm looking to just make sure that we win.
That's good. That's a good attitude to have. And then what rocket have you enjoyed playing against the most?
I would probably say I've enjoyed playing against JJ because I know no matter what, if he's low health or even if I have like the high ground on him or whatever, he's always going to make it a challenge. He'll know some tricky way to make it interesting. So I'd probably say he's been the most enjoyable.
Okay, and then we're going to finish up with our hypothetical question here. If you had to, so say you could trade members from LSJ to another clan and gain other members, who would you trade each player for? So if you could trade Pimp, Scars, and Kratos to another team, who would you want to trade them to, and who would you want to receive? Or would you not want to trade?
Well, I mean,
or maybe there's some players you don't want to trade.
Well, I don't think I'd trade any of them, but say if I would, to make it interesting, I'd probably rip Scars' feelings. I'd probably take a Shoddy and maybe even Iceman at Sniper, and probably I'd say Destroyer would be like the only person that would come close to that.
Right, if you had to do it, those are the three.
If I had to.
If you had to, I agree that those would be the three that would make sense.
Delta resents that.
And that is all we have for that. And now we are going to go on to the rapid fire questions from T-Luck.
All right.
Jesus.
You boys ready?
Yeah.
Delta, are you alive?
I'm ready to beat Jay. Whoa.
Oh,
I'm ready
that's-
to beat
Let's go.
I saw JJ on the chat box. Hi, JJ.
Slam down.
Okay. Anyway, question number 1. PC or PlayStation?
PC.
PlayStation.
Battlefield or Call of Duty?
Call of Duty.
Baseball or football?
Baseball.
Yankees or Red Sox?
Sox.
Yankees.
Oh, God. Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
Tupac.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Thank
Chinese or Italian food?
Italian.
Delta?
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. David Ortiz or Alex Rodriguez?
A-Rod.
Coffee.
Andrew Luck or Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. That's close enough.
Okay. Snow Fox or Killer K?
Killer K.
I won a championship with Killer K, so I'm going to pick Killer K.
Ouch.
Damn.
Phantom or Verg?
Berg.
Phantom.
Right. Shot Down or Fallen Blade?
Fallen Blade.
Aid.
All right. Scars or Scars Bot?
Scars bot for sure.
Definitely Scars bot.
Video games or girls?
Grills.
You had your chance to say raps. There you go. All right.
Rap-
He did it. Tits or ass?
Ass.
All right. Hot weather or cold weather?
Cold.
Cold.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dog.
Best candy, Kappa.
Sour Patch.
Oh, yeah, Sour Patch.
Damn.
Get away from me.
Best double NG duo of all time.
Destroyer and me.
Destroyer and acid.
Oh, what?
Craft Gamer or Feevens?
Crap
Phoebe's
gamer.
about that answer.
Flechette or Precision Pistol?
PP.
All right. Ice or fire?
Fire.
All right. In Oreos, the cookie or the cream?
Cookie.
Green.
All right. Jedi or Sith?
Jedi.
Jedi. I'm just gonna let Delta answer first because can't hear him.
Favorite game other than Battlefront 2?
League of
This
Legends.
This is not rapid fire.
Great.
Oh.
All right. Favorite cereal?
Captain Crunch.
I like life. Don't hate.
I didn't even hear him say life.
Nobody's hating. We can't hear you.
Wendy's or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
Wendy's.
Domino's or Papa John's?
Papa John's.
Domino's.
Det packs or health packs?
Health
Health.
Packs.
Naboo or Mos Eisley?
Most
Yep.
honestly.
Twitch or YouTube?
Twitch.
You-
Darky or Wookie?
Darky. I was impressed.
Thanks, man.
KFC or Popeyes?
Popeyes.
Right. East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
West Coast.
Manny Ramirez or Derek Jeter?
Derek Jeter.
Oh,
What?
God. Manny Ramirez.
You can't confidently say that.
Chicken or egg?
Chicken.
Chicken.
Crossfire or Delta?
Delta's bad.
Crossfire is horrible, so.
Oh shit. Alright, well that wraps it up for the not so rapid fire questions. We're gonna talk about, or we're gonna hand it over to Mike. He's gonna make some omissions or errors and corrections of our E3 talk from last week for a couple minutes. So Mike, go ahead and take it away.
Right. So last week we talked for quite a long time about E3, and at that point we had just seen the trailer, and I was basically going over screenshots from the trailer, but I didn't have much input from people that actually played the game. Now I have a lot more information, and I'd like to basically correct some info that I got wrong. It's not too many things, but just a bunch of little things that I missed and some more info that we also found out. So the first thing that comes to my mind was the jetpack situation, where I thought it was going to be like you were going to have Dark Trooper jetpacks where you could only go at forward angles and have like a lot of forward momentum when you hit jump. But actually you can go in any direction, which is neat. So there's not going to be rolling in the game, but I feel like a jetpack is going to be the new movement option that we're going to be using quite a bit more often. So that is good because we're not restricted to one direction, which is easily predictable. The other thing I found out was that you can change. It is confirmed that you can change between first and third person without going into an options menu. It's just one button press on the D-pad, down D-pad, and then you can also change the angle. So you know how it's an over-the-shoulder kind of view. It's more zoomed in and lower to the ground. You can actually change left shoulder or right shoulder with left and right on the D-pad. So I don't know if we're gonna be like if it's optimum to play with your thumb ready on the D-pad as well in case you need to look around a different corner or something crazy like that. So, but anyway, at least that we have ease of access to them. We don't have to go into menus to change stuff, which is good. Let's see. The next thing in Battlefront 2, to grapple, this kind of is completely irrelevant, but anyway, to grapple in AT-AT, you need two people, or you don't need two people, but you need to hook on, and then you need to actually maneuver the snowspeeder around the AT-AT in a circle a couple times. In this game, I believe you just connect. Once you're latched on, then you sort of play what we're just thinking this, and a few people from E3 have been saying this, that there's like a little mini game, a little meter shows up on the left-hand side, and you have to sort of keep the icon within this meter, and that's how you'll be able to keep circling the AT-AT, rather than just piloting around manually like you had to on the previous game. Couple other things we found out. So what we saw was only on PS4. All the screenshots I had up here last week were only on PS4. I did find out that during the AMD press conference at E3, which was sort of a smaller press conference where they only talked about AMD processors and a bunch of other games, they showed about like 20 seconds of Battlefront 3 running on PC. So, but it wasn't really anything we hadn't seen before, though. So it wasn't too crazy. The only thing we saw was, I believe, X-Wing cockpits, which we didn't see in the Hoth gameplay footage. But that was slightly interesting. And the last thing is that they also said that we will find out more I believe it's July 10th. We're going to see PC gameplay at Comic-Con. So San Diego Comic-Con is the next time we'll see stuff, and it's going to be on PC. And I think that's July 10th, so a couple weeks from now. And we'll be able to see more then, and that's when we'll have more info. And I believe that's all. Okay. One more thing. I got kind of confused about this whole press square prompt that this guy had on his screen for after he shot, and I didn't know what it was. But Dark actually pointed out to me that it's like a sort of a skilled reload. So if you think about it, how if your weapon is about to overheat, it can go from like cool down and then yellow and then red. So if you're in the yellow and you press square during this certain small window, you'll actually get a much faster cooldown and be ready to fire much sooner rather than if you overheat all the way. So that's sort of a skilled reload sort of thing. And that was the other thing that I kind of messed up last week because I had no idea what it was. But now it's pretty clear. I think that's a cool feature because now that it's put some skill in reloading, that's kind of cool. And
what the fuck? Oh no.
Did we lose him?
He just dropped mid-sentence.
Rip.
I think we lost Mike, boys.
I don't know what to do.
Well, I think he finished is the good news, and we can just continue on. Well, thank you, Mike, for that presentation.
That
The
was
information.
New information that kind of came along right shortly after we did last week's State of the BFC. There he goes again. His Skype crashed. He says, "I don't know. Should we wait for him?"
Yeah,
You can just wrap that up, and then we can. He'll get in here.
He said my Skype crashed. Hold on.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just a lot of information from E3. It was difficult to kind of get it all. There wasn't a whole lot of professional input from the developers and people who actually played there until later on. But yeah, I guess he can add, if he has something important to add, he can add at the end of the show. Let's just go ahead and move on to the panel for this week. So our first thing for the panel, as usual, is the standings. First place is MOH. They are 24-14, 83 points. They've been on a bit of a skid lately. I don't know if they've lost 4 straight, but they've lost 4 games recently. Kratos.
MOH, they're on a bit of a tough tear, but we already know they got Lack, they got Iceman, they got Shot Down. They'll be fine. Snipes. I think Snipes will break through a wall. He's just hitting the wall with his head right now, and I think he'll break through it. I believe in him to a certain degree, at least, not too much. But I think he'll figure it out. I think he'll figure out what he needs to do. If he doesn't figure it out, then they need to figure who's gonna play NG. I don't know. If they'll put Iceman at NG or something crazy like that. I don't think Destroyer NG is actually going to happen. I think that's more of just the scare tactic at this moment. But you never know.
Yeah, well, I have no comments about MOH. So Crossfire, what do you think?
I think MOH is a really strong clan. I think they're going to compete all the way down to the end. If they get Destroyer, it's over. But if not, it's over.
Delta.
I just like with AON where Killer K was the heart and soul, we swept them this week and beat them 3-1 because they didn't have Shoddy. I mean, Shoddy's the heart and soul of that team.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, he's such a major impact of every clan he's in. I don't know. There's not much more to add. It's just he is shot down is shot down. And
like if I know you guys were talking about this last week, if Grunt could ever win MVP. Season MVP would be tough, I agree, but I could definitely see Shotdown winning playoff MVP if they won the championship.
Definitely if he goes clutch, like sometimes he's known to do.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so let's move on to number 2, which is, of course, LSJ. They have improved to 19-0, which does that tie the best record for undefeated this season?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So, congratulations to you guys. You almost lost it, brothers. But,
hey. Take it easy.
You managed to hold it in. So 19-0, they're at 76 points, just 9 behind. Not 9. That's not correct.
Math. Let's go.
I'm losing my math. 7 behind MOH. You LSJ guys have anything to say about yourselves?
Well, as always, Crossfire. When I told him about splash damage, he didn't understand that the splash damage would hurt himself, so he shot at his feet a lot, and then he was confused while his health was going down. Eventually, I finally was able to show him that, like, no, team damage is on. The splash damage is going to hit you, Crossfire. And then he's figured that out now, and I think we're getting places with Crossfire.
Mm-hmm. It was a stepping stone, I'll tell you.
Apparently, tears involved.
Yeah, a little bit.
Lots of tears. Welcome back, Mike.
Yeah, please excuse my technical difficulties. My Skype was being bad and my computer, or both at the same time. I'm not sure, but we're okay now.
Do you have anything to add on our LSJ discussion?
No, I mean, other than that, we've been playing pretty good, and there's always, like I've been saying the past couple weeks, there's always little things we could be doing better, but I still think we're playing excellent, and I don't know. It's always a question of who's going to beat us, if anybody, and that's it.
Well, you guys hit another milestone on top of the 19-0 this week. You broke double-digit map losses. Congratulations on that one.
Oh, thanks.
It took you guys a month, but it happened.
Yeah, I believe LSJ and SOF have the lowest amount of map losses. Surprisingly.
It's not even comparable.
Thanks.
I know.
Thanks for that helpful stats, Mike.
I know.
LSJ and SOF, the two best claims in the BFC.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Delta, what are your thoughts about LSJ after playing them last night?
As I was talking to Pimp and Scars last night, we should have won Naboo, but you guys should have won Mustafar, so I guess it's a wash. So I mean, it was a good match last night, but
definitely felt like a playoff match.
Yeah, still the better team, and like you guys scored that Death Star one so quick on us, and I didn't think we were going to score, and then somehow Snow scored. I'm still not sure how that happened, but then we blew it and let Pimp walk past mine.
Pimp was impressive on that flag run.
Yes, it was.
Not as impressive as Kratos. That was incredible. That essentially 1v4ing.
I had spawned in. I got
the Pimp flag run. I told Pimp before I ran in. I was just like, Pimp, once I die, just pick up the flag, run it in, and then he did it.
And apparently you dropped Reduct when you died.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome. That could not be planned any better.
All part of our scheme.
Yeah.
On Kratos' flag run, he almost died of falling damage when he jumped off.
That's crazy.
That sucked.
Yeah, we heard that you Craigasmed.
A little bit.
It's pretty OP.
What?
Never mind. Just moving on now. Delta doesn't understand Twitch chat.
I know
So number 3 is Bot. They're 13-10.
We're 3.
And bad.
Yep. They are at 41 points, quite a ways behind second and first place. I think it's safe to say at this point in the season it's really a battle for first and then a battle for third. But I mean it's not completely unreachable, I guess. But Kratos, what do you think about Bot?
Bot's doing good. They beat MOH finally, and that's what they needed to do to get off tilt, so they're good to go now. They just need to figure out their lineup. Kintaro Grunt's pretty good. Snowfox Sniper's good. Biostorm's still OP at the end of the day. I think Bot's got it in them. They're definitely top 3 with MOH and LSJ. And then after that, I think there's a bit of a skill drop. But then again, Millennium with Shocker is always scary.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Bot's good.
Mike? No.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. I believe. Okay, it could be argued that Bot is like inconsistent, but I don't know. It's sometimes they just play so well. I mean, LSJ took him to 5 maps. Like that's crazy. Nobody. I mean, it has happened before in the season, but I don't know. Just not recently. So it was pretty intense, and I just want to say shoutouts to Kintaro for playing super well on that most Isley. I don't think any of us expected that. And they're doing good. If they can just string some wins together, they can still reach second. It's just going to be like ridiculously hard.
They are currently.
They have to play a lot.
They're 35 points back.
They'd have to play a lot.
Yeah,
Actually, no, they probably can't because their schedules, so they can't play a lot.
Their schedules. Then again, I haven't seen. I don't know. Does anyone know where MOH is? They haven't played in like 4 days.
Oh no, they played a few
They
days
played Monday,
ago.
I guess, in the. Is it Monday?
I think people are
Sunday.
getting a little burnt out, to be honest,
Yeah, I
right
think
now.
so.
They're around. I think they just didn't play yesterday. They're around though.
Well,
but
people were playing how they normally do, but I don't like. We extended the season by 10 days. This season, it's like
Right, it's a little
this
confident.
time in a normal season, June 24th in a normal season, we're really wrapping up. We're probably a couple of days left.
Well, people played so much for a small period of time, and then they realized, wow.
Well, no, I don't think so because normal seasons, like last year, actually was not normal because we thought the game was going to go down, right? So we
Yeah.
crammed 2 seasons into 1 month each. We actually didn't used to do that. It actually lasted like a month and a half.
Yeah, I guess
standard.
so.
So
Yeah, you're right. Either way, they're not playing. Crossfire. What is your opinion on Bot right now, bud?
I think Bot's pretty bad, honestly, but on the real, they're pretty good. But I think Bio's really good, but Snow was doing really good in that battle yesterday. She kind of put me on tilt a little bit, kind of ruined me at a few bases. So I think maybe she might be the key to get him back in this if she keeps turning up. So that's about all I got to say about them.
And
Delta's
Delta,
pretty bad.
you already said a lot about Bot in your interview, but do you have anything else to add? Bet you guys.
A-hole's bad, but I can carry him, so we'll be good.
All right. Well, we'll see you in the free agency section later. All right. So fourth place is STR. They are 15-23. Definitely taken a bit of a slip recently. They are at 37 points, only basically a win behind Bot. Kratos, STR.
I think STR is doing okay, though we haven't seen much of them recently, which I think is fine. I think STR. Listen, I'll talk about this in my bold prediction later, but I think STR. I think good things are gonna happen. I think things are looking up.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Mike.
I think things are also on. I would agree with Kratos that things are definitely looking up for sure. JJ, I still think is playing like out of his mind. Although you could say he's always been this good, but I feel like he's even stepping it up this year. And then Starseeker's really good. We all know that he's been playing, I think, above some people's expectations this year. They're doing good. They're in the fight so Bot, Millennium, and STR are going to be in that very close fight for third if nothing drastic happens. So it'll be interesting to see what goes down and how much they'll play, how much they'll try and get those points.
Cross.
Well, when I look at STR, like the first thing that comes to mind, hate to say it for anybody else, but like AON in season 10, they were 20-22 whenever they took it, and it's kind of like STR has got that real scary team with like not the prettiest record. I just think they're gonna, be pretty good when it comes down to playoffs, just because JJ's a beast, Acer's a beast. Naga's the rising youngster, destroying everybody's face. So who knows?
Then they have Starseeker, who honestly might be the most underrated player in the BFC.
Yeah,
He is really good.
I honestly don't enjoy playing against Starseeker, and that's a good thing for him, but a horrible thing for me. I just hate playing against him.
Delta.
I enjoy playing them. They've given us some of our more fun battles. They also gave us a couple not so fun battles, but one for us and one for them. So they finally beat us this past week, and they did it in pretty dominating fashion. Even though it was 3-1, that the one we won was kind of fluky. So I mean, they're coming around. So I think they're actually on the up, not the down. They're just not playing a lot lately, which I think, like Kratos said, is good.
Well, I think they burnt themselves out, but they kept pushing. And when you keep pushing to play and you keep trying to play too often, when you're burnt out, it's not going to go well.
Sometimes just getting your head outside the game and then you come back with a whole new perspective,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's all about having that right mindset. And when you get to this point in the season, it's good to kind of take it game by game. Don't worry about... I mean, you're STR. If you're in the top 5 at this point, you're staying in the top 5. R is not going to be playing enough to really catch anybody. But we'll get into that in a second. Anyway, let's just move on to Millennium. They're 5th place. They're 11-9. Haven't been playing too much recently. They have 31 points. They are 6 back of STR. Kratos, what do you think about these guys?
I think Millennium's... There's so many scary teams this year. Like, Millennium, in the playoffs, you never know what's going to happen with Shocker. Like, Alicia hasn't even played Shocker, so we don't even know what to expect ourselves to be on. But Millennium's scary. A Shocker team, and those dudes are slowly getting better with every battle, and they're learning how to play around Shocker more and more, so...
Yeah.
I think there's so many scary teams this season. So yeah, Millennium's, I think they're very good, and they're top 5. But the top 6, I think they're all pretty... Like, all these top 6 teams, I think at their best, they can win the season. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Except, I think even if R played at their best and they keep improving like that, they could still pull off a miracle and win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
But these top 6 teams are all, really good.
Yeah. Mike?
Yeah, it's hard for me to talk about Millennium because I haven't played them yet. Or I haven't even heard from my teammates playing them. But I've spectated a lot of Millennium matches, and Shocker looks like he's doing the same types of things that Delta and Kratos do. So, I mean, he's easily on their level. It's just a matter of, can they do that in a playoff match, or can they do that against LSJ? We'll see. They'll definitely be in the gauntlet, though. I mean, I don't see them falling out of top 6 at all. So it's sort of like a race for 1st, and then a race for 3rd, and then a race for 6th.
Yeah, pretty much.
These guys are in the race for 3rd.
Okay. Cross?
I'm like Mike. I haven't played against Millennium, but I do know that from what I've seen, stream and just the legends of the base hop Shocker, kind of scare me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but I think as long as clans can keep track of him, they, Millennium maybe can get shut down. But if that doesn't happen, I see them, rising on the leaderboard.
Delta?
All right. So for getting picked on for playing Mill for the first part of the season because everyone thought they were trash, I thought it was funny they beat MOH 2 times in the past week and a half.
Yeah.
So that's back for Iceman saying we just play Mill and stat pad. I remembered.
Yeah, Mill's legit.
But Mill's legit. Like, it's not just Shocker obviously is their best player, but John will have games where Elazian, I think is his in-game name.
Yeah.
He'll have games where he's headshot in every other shot, and you just
Yeah.
dude.
Delta,
So-
you're scaring me right now.
They're a good team. They're just like us as far as the inconsistency goes. They're inconsistent.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm a little lower on Mill than you guys are. I think they're still good. I disagree when you say that the rest of the team is performing though. They're okay. Like the rest of Mill's classes, Mill's guys that aren't Shocker are reminding me this past week and a half or so have reminded me of STR's weaker classes from the week and a half before this past week. How the power has played well. Shocker's played well. He just needs support, and he's not getting it. And
I feel like Delta might be right about John being like.
oh no, I've always been I've always been high on John. John is one of the best headshot snipers in the BFC.
So like he
However,
might be able
recently his play has not been good.
Yeah, I feel like most of the time he'll play average, but maybe what Delta is saying that John will help Mill win one map, and then Shocker is going to win two maps for them by himself.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, what happened in our battle with Mill is John won Utapau for them, and then Shocker went off on the. No, we beat him on Naboo. I forgot the other two maps. Mos Eisley and something else.
Yeah, as Acer literally just said it on the chat box. Starseeker, not Starseeker. Ugh. John, he either gets. I feel like he either gets headshots or he's just there. He's just a body. They need. I think those other classes need to find a middle ground because it's the same with Killax. Killax will either be he'll go positive, he'll do his job as the rocket, or he'll be like 15 and 30, which is unacceptable as a rocket. So,
Killax just needs to become more consistent, and that will just come with more.
Had increase on that Naboo the other day, but I don't remember if they won.
Well,
I believe they did win.
You want from your rocket, especially if you have a carry engineer like Shocker, you just want them to be consistent and always winning their battles, at least, or going 50-50, you know?
Yeah.
Because that would guarantee like the map's going to go a really long time. And you have a consistent rocket that is always going 1-for-1, and then that's always good to have someone like that. And I don't know if Killax is that consistent yet, that he can be relied on to give Shocker these long-lasting maps yet.
Yeah.
He might get there though.
So let's move on to the 6th place, which is R. They're 6 and 14, steadily getting better, I would say. Especially this past week, they've looked much better than they have previously. They are at 1 point, but considering they were at -10 last time we talked about them, you know they're improving.
Huge improvement.
Yeah.
Yep. Huge improvement.
Again, 30 points out of 5th place. The battle for 3rd, or even just getting top 4, that's pretty much over. But Kratos, what are you thinking about R?
It's good to see R's getting their stuff together. Fire Hazard, I haven't seen too much of R play, or I haven't seen that many matches this past week, so I'm not like up to date completely on what's been happening in these battles. But if I had to gander what's been going on, I believe Fire Hazard's been playing well. And I'd also say Wicked is also stepping up, because Wicked versus LSJ, like, he was getting like headshots like crazy. Like, I think on like one map he had like 20 headshots or something. It was stupid. Like, he was playing really good. So I'd assume those two are playing better, and Verg is slowly learning like how people play in these matches. And then Stern is Stern, and that's all he needs to be.
Yep. Mike?
Yeah, I've been saying to Stern and Wicked that I felt like if you gave me their roster on a sheet of paper, I'd tell you that's top 4, but or at least top, a lot closer of a gap between 4 and where they are now. But I don't know, they just needed to put it together, and I think they're starting to do that now. But they're still in a race with EU, because getting 6th matters, getting 5th or 6th matters. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
EU can get one win, and then now they're ahead of R. So those two are super close right now. Only 3 points separating, or no, sorry, 2 points separating.
It's the 1 win difference, less than that.
Yeah.
All right. Crossfire?
Yeah, I think R is gonna just, I don't know, I feel like I haven't watched them these past few days. I've only played against them one time, and like Curtis said, Wicked kind of went off with the headshots. It was really annoying. And then I heard that that R has done really good in this past week, and I don't know, I just feel like if they can get everything together, they got a scary team with Killer K, Fire Hazard, Wicked, Verg. Verg's a beast, you never know, so I don't know.
Yeah. Delta?
I think they're getting better. I still think that they're not team, 99 times out of 100 they're going to lose to LSJ, so I can't see them winning in the playoffs. I guess that one time could happen, but I'm not saying they can't beat us because they did. So I'm not trying to talk down on them on our level, but I can't see them winning a championship, not with Buster.
Yeah, I think that's fair. They I don't know. They've shown improvement. Verg is really streaky, but when he's playing well, it's incredible. Like he goes like 20-3 when he's playing well.
Probably statistically leads in team kills in the BFC right now.
I'd say so.
I wish we could have that stat recorded somehow.
I personally don't.
Crossfire 2.
It'd be like quarterbacks like throwing interceptions, basically.
Yeah, I saw Wicked's stats from when they faced LSJ, and he statistically he looked better. I think it's really a confidence thing with that team, because they're a very I don't mean this in a negative way, but they're a very emotional team. When you have younger players like Wicked and Fire, and we all know Stern just freaking goes crazy half the time, but when you have players like that. Oh my god. Yeah, Killer K has no emotions. And Verg just seems to be happy that he's playing. But those core three, Wicked, Fire, Stern,
Stern's pretty solid.
Yeah. But he does tilt. And
well, he won't take up with like Wicked's bullshit, probably is what I would say.
Oh yeah.
Wicked versus LSJ, when I was fighting him, I could tell he's like playing with fire. Like sometimes he just like plays like so aggro and confident. That's how he should always play. Mm-hmm. He just does that. If he just goes in and just says screw it and just let's go, he'll be good.
Yeah. But they're improving. I'd like to see them continue to improve. And Fire Hazard gets off school today, so maybe they'll play a little bit more. Maybe open up a lead in that 6th spot, so they don't have to worry about EU. Speaking of EU, they are in 7th place. They just won against SCR today. They're 3-11, -1 points, only one win away from beating R, or a 3-0 loss for R.
They won against STR today.
Yes, they did.
Have we updated the standings for that battle?
Yes. Well, it's updated the thing I'm looking at. I don't know if it's updated on the portal.
Okay. That's interesting. Maybe STR isn't on as much of an up, but maybe they didn't have their best line, or maybe EU's just freaking good. I don't know. I didn't watch the battle, so I can't really say too much about EU. But I know Cohen's good. They just need an engineer who plays aggressive and strong. Is all they need.
Well, Nemo played today. He played NG. That was a change of pace. I haven't seen Nemo for a couple seasons. Maybe he played last season, but it just doesn't seem like I've seen him in a really long time. I know he hasn't played this year yet.
They definitely have the tools to be good. It's just they're always playing on high ping, of course, but Cohen's a playmaker, and then they just need an engineer.
Cohen is excellent.
If Nemo's the answer for their engineer problems, then great. If not, then they need to figure it out.
Yeah, and in all respect to Jack, he has stepped up in the past seasons and played very well. Yoda has. But Nemo played very well today. If he can play consistently and get on more, he might be that answer they're looking for. He's not Michael, but what I saw from him today against Acer, he had a couple maps where he put up some very good stat lines and did well. It's just still kind of the typical EU thing of not capitalizing on certain situations of Conquest and not spreading correctly. Though David did go around on Camino and get awards in the first 10 minutes of the game, so
that's good. They're definitely picking maps that fit their playstyle.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mike?
Yeah, people are talking about it on the chat right now. If you don't have... So Cohen, if they like to play Camino and Kashyyyk, and Cohen will destroy your team if you don't have your sniper ready to go. And they're saying Fierce wasn't ready for that, and I know Starseeker would be because I've watched Starseeker numerous times on Kashyyyk this year get awards. So I feel like they would really need Starseeker to counteract Cohen on those big maps. So that's probably why they lost, but you can't. They will win those big maps if you're not prepared for that. So they can take a battle just based on that. They can pick 3 maps every time, and then they also love Death Star, so they can definitely win. It's a battle between them and R for that last gauntlet spot. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think EU is very dangerous on Death Star, and a lot of people kind of underestimate their ability to play that map.
Just
I don't
playing-
think anyone should at this point. Come on,
just
guys.
the,
Yeah, that's
the
a little
difference-
silly, but
the difference between playing like bot or MOH or LSJ, and then you go in and you play EU. The maps are completely different. The way they play is completely different. Like you have to change your entire mindset when you're playing EU. You know, it's like everything's a lot different when you're playing EU, and people need to like come in with a mindset that these guys they don't play like us. They play different, and they have to be prepared for
Definitely
that.
don't underestimate them on Death Star. That's their
Yeah.
favorite map. That's the map they've put the most time into. So definitely don't underestimate them.
Well, and I was also going to say, I forgot to say this a second ago, but Phantom played very well today. If Phantom can get to form,
When
EU
I,
could actually be a threat.
When I played with EU versus bot on Death Star CTF, Phantom got a quadra kill with the mine. It was incredible. And then we just ran in and scored.
I want to know I wasn't in that battle.
He's just that's all he has
But
to
yeah,
have.
but yeah,
He's drunk bus. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Phantom's been playing really well. Like he's definitely.
Yeah, we were talking about randomly on the Kashyyyk. Like Kashyyyk is like sort of secretly a rocket map if you can get your rocket up on those platforms. Because I've spectated a few rockets this year that have done really good up there, like Dark
there's
Dragon,
invisible
Phantom.
droids up there. You know.
Yeah, you just stick by those droids. You can't blow them up, I don't think, and you just sit there.
Yeah, it's good for anybody, but I mean the rockets shooting down onto base 2 right there, it's just really good.
Yeah.
And if the sniper has to waste his time trying to get the guy off that tower, then he's probably going to lose the battle versus the actual sniper.
Yeah.
The actual sniper is probably going to be shooting him in the side. Yeah, it makes a huge difference for sure.
Well, I just think it's interesting because when EU first started playing Phantom, I think Phantom and Michael were really the two that everybody was like, yeah, you know, these EU guys aren't that bad. Phantom and Michael were pretty good players. And then as the years and seasons have gone by, we've seen, I think Phantom just kind of maybe lower in his level of play, and Cohen really rise to be among the top snipers.
Let's not forget Jessica, the legend.
And I don't know. I don't think Phantom's bad. I think he tilts, and I think he's got it in his head that he's not good anymore. But I think if he just concentrates on this game and plays his game instead of playing the game that, because the fact of the matter is that the NA and EU styles definitely clash, and unfortunately it seems that the NA style is better. Unfortunately for EU at least, the NA style is better when you're fighting between the two. Phantom needs to just sure. Phantom needs to play his game, and maybe they can make a run into the playoffs. But anyway, Crossfire, do you have anything to add about EU?
I mean, honestly, I just think like EU's biggest weapon is like pick and troll maps and nobody knows. So I mean, and their ability to do that.
Yeah.
And Cohen's like a really good long range sniper, and he kind of trolled me because I sniped when we played Camino. Definitely put me on tilt.
Like, imagine if you're in that gauntlet and your first matchup of the gauntlet is EU. Like, how do you prepare for that? Like
That's so difficult.
All season long, you haven't played Camino. You haven't played Kashyyyk. You haven't been playing this. I mean, you played Death Star CTF. I think Death Star CTF is a fairly popular map by now. But you haven't played. Maybe you haven't played that much versus EU's Death Star CTF. Like, I don't know. They can definitely cheese some people, and they definitely have the skill sometimes to just win.
Well, they can catch you off guard.
Exactly. They have the skill, and they also have the cheese. It's like a good combination. And I'd be scared if I had to play them in the first round.
Yeah. Delta, you have anything to add?
Cohen's probably the second best sniper right now. So.
Wow. Okay.
But
take it easy.
There's my bold thing. I think Cohen's the second best sniper, and he deals with the lag too at sniper, long range. It's just impressive. Pimp is the only one that's better.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Cohen's an excellent player. I would love to see him. I know he has a better connection for the EU players. I would love to see him on like an 80 ping. I think that's kind of scary to think about. I imagine it'd be very similar to watching Pimp play.
I agree.
All right, so anyway, we're going pretty long here. Let's wrap up on the standings. We have SOF. They're in SOF place. They're 0-10. They've won 3 maps. They're a negative 17 points, setting a. I think that might be a record for negative points. I'm not sure how poorly SWL did. Maybe not quite.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I
SOF.
don't think it's a record, though. I actually don't think that's a record.
Think so? Okay.
But It's only because SWL or TDH might have won up them, but I'm not sure. I will say though that SOF, they did win a map against LSJ. Now, granted, there's 2 reasons why they won this map.
Pretty upset. We're tilting. Mike and I are upset about this.
No, it's fine. I just want to point out that it's a good play. So SOF won a map. Give them credit for that because 2 things happened. Although Kratos lagged out, so Kratos is not in this moment that happened. So it might take away from it somewhat. But the key thing is that Dark Dragon got a triple kill on me, Pimp, and Crossfire, and that basically ended the map right when that happened because we could not come back from it without Kratos. So that's a big play they made. So there you go, 1 map from 1 big play.
Luckily, I wasn't there to give them the quadra kill. That would have been GG on us.
I'd see. Yeah, I don't know. If you got a quadra kill, we should just lose right there. Yeah.
Kratos.
SOF, they're getting better. They're okay. I still say they'll probably win 1 game versus somebody. I don't know who, but it's going to be crazy when they finally win. I think they'll win once.
Cross.
I just got back from using the bathroom.
We're talking about SOF, brother.
Okay. SOF. The key to winning the 4-on-4 snipers is Larry, for sure, and a little bit of Tauntaun.
Are all
Little bit
SOF
of
battles
Tauntaun.
from now on going to be 4v4 all snipers?
I don't know.
I don't think that's really a thing.
Well, the opposing team would have to agree. We will, and Delta said bot would be down perhaps to try that out. So.
All right, Delta.
Yeah, we're gonna 4v4 them all snipers because if we lose, oh well. And
Bot finishes 4th
Jesus.
place
Then you,
because
you,
they
got,
lost.
you guys could say you lost to everyone once at least.
exactly.
That's not something you would be proud of.
You learned something from every clan.
So SOF, bot's calling your name out. We're calling you out. 4v4 all snipers. It may not approve, but I'll bench it.
Watch out for a-hole sniper, guys.
Well, we might bench a-hole for that anyways. We'd probably use Kentaro, Bio, myself, and Fett. But
Wow, Snowfox getting trolled.
oh wait,
Best sniper in the clan's getting trolled.
Fett,
I've seen a-hole snipers. Sometimes it's good.
not Fett. No. I love Fett though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, SOF's trolls. They'll probably win. Map. Yeah. I'm not a fan. Sorry, let's move on to player of the week. Player of the week.
Duh.
Yeah, Kratos, who you got?
I'll give it to Pimp. I think he's played well this week.
Okay. Yeah, Pimp's put up some really good numbers. Mike?
I think I want to give it to someone from R, but I don't know who. They won 3 battles against MOH twice and bot, and MOH had legit lineups, I think, in both of those. So I want to give it to someone in R, but I'm not sure who the X factor was in those 3
I'd
battles.
assume Fire Hazard or Wicked, maybe Bird, maybe Stern. I don't know.
Well, you know,
Can
one
I
of the
Can I
members
just
of
give
plays.
it to R in general?
Yes, we can count
Okay.
R as one player.
Yeah. If whoever played in all 3 of those battles, you're qualified to get player of the
Congratulations,
week
friends.
for R from me.
Okay. Cross.
I'm gonna give it to Wicked for some Wicked Kappa nasty headshots,
God.
and just pull in R together to get those nice sweet victories that they needed.
Delta.
Kratos, after playing this week, he just further established himself as the best player. So he get it at least this week too.
Okay. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I think every player that normally would be my guy to win it underperformed this week. No offense to any of you guys, but you guys, all of you, you're just bad this week. I don't know.
Thanks, man.
It's just not you two. You ain't even get out of here.
Nah, it's our fault.
I'm probably gonna give it to Cohen. It's not really of this past week, but just the last couple EU matches.
I think they have won 2 in the past week,
Yes,
right?
I believe so.
They beat SDR and then they beat Bot, yeah. And it's
They-
because it's off Cohen's back, too.
Cohen is playing out of his mind. He is playing so well, and this is also big ups for him for sticking with it. I know there was a point where he was questioning his status in EU, but he's sticking with the team. He's sticking with his continent, and he's playing well. He's playing his heart out. You can tell. So big ups to him. He's really playing out of his mind. All right, we're gonna finish up this episode with our bold predictions 3.0. Very wary. Kratos, what's your bold prediction, brother?
STR is going to finish second place in the regular season.
Ooh,
And
that's a big leap.
they're about to go on a tear. I'm feeling like they're about to just break through, start playing really good. I think the main key will be Acer. I think he had a really strong start to the season, and then he kind of wavered off. But I think we're going to see him coming back, because I think Acer I'm not sure how much he's played recently, but I feel like he's taken a bit of a break to refresh his mind, and I think that'll come really big for him, and I think he'll play really well, and I think STR is going to go on a tear here. Break open some walls.
Mm-hmm. Mike?
Overcome some obstacles.
Looking at the people in the chat, and I'm like, what can I say that's bold? Okay, I'm thinking about beam rifle. I'm gonna say either.
Larry.
No, that's not bold.
Larry.
I'm gonna say I think Starseeker's gonna get beam rifle at some point.
Okay.
I think he's gonna do it. He's gonna be the one to break through.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
All right, here we go. So Destroyer's gonna come back. They're gonna defeat LSJ. Kratos gonna go on Mega Tilt.
God.
And then Destroyer's gonna immediately leave the game forever, and then SDRs are gonna just see that we're on tilt, battle us every night, just beat us into the ground. They're gonna take the championship.
Wow.
What?
Dang.
That was like a Rube Goldberg machine of what's gonna happen in the BFC. Like just a bunch of things combining to reach an end.
Yeah. Just need my bold prediction 2.0 of Maximus coming back to throw into the Rube Goldberg
Oh
machine.
god. All right, Delta, what's your bold prediction?
Well, since Snow didn't even hit her 4 ERs, I feel like we should stay away from the ER fold. I think
You were saying earlier that your bold. You were saying that Cohen is the second best. That was one of your bold statements.
like my bold statement would be that Cohen's the second best sniper. I guess the
Okay.
only prediction I could make off of that is EU is going to move up to 6th place and secure it.
Okay. They're going to be the 6th playoff team.
Yep.
Um,
And I actually believe I think he will be the 6th playoff team, but I think it's fairly bold seeing as how R played this week.
I'm going to completely counter your rule prediction and say that R will not only finish 6th place, but they will make it into the round of 4.
They're gonna
You're
catch
saying-
up.
You're saying top 4 for R?
Like they're going to finish 6th at the end of the season.
Okay.
And they
and
are
they're
going
gonna
to
run
beat the number
gauntlet.
5 seed, and they're going to beat the number
You
4
think they
seed.
come out of the gauntlet?
Yes, they will come out. Ruthless will come out of the gauntlet, and they will face LSJ or MOH, whoever's number 1.
Dun dun dun.
That
That could happen.
One of the gauntlet teams can be really scary coming out of that and playing the number 1 seed.
It's one of those things you see it in a little bit in baseball and definitely in football, where the wild card team, they have those number 1 seeds, they get the bye, right? And a lot of people like that. A lot of the players hate that because they like, well, now we haven't played for a week and these guys are playing this whole time and practicing and going hard. Mike and I know all about that.
Ravens.
Don't talk about them.
No.
Come on now. They're not even good. No, but that team. If R manages to pull this off, they'll have played 2 more battles in a short time period, where the top 4 teams are sitting on their asses,
Well, it
just waiting.
looks like R's kind of putting the pieces together a bit.
I think
Fire
they're
Hazard.
really improving, and
Yeah,
Fire
Fire-
Hazard, given the time that he can play, because he's been at school this whole time.
If R can actually practice outside of matches, like have a few practices like every other night a bit, just play the game a bit more, I think they'll be good. And they just need to work on their team environment, they'll be good.
I agree. I also want to say that I think that if EU manages to get 6th as well, that they have a chance at running the gauntlet as well. I just don't think it's quite as high as R. It's just kind of it's going to be really troll if EU ends up facing BOD in the playoffs, because how the hell are they going to get to face each other?
Yeah, that's difficult.
BOD don't play before like 11 p.m. EU don't play after 6 p.m. It's
Oh, yeah.
I'm on tilt right now because there's an EU player on the chat box at 9 p.m. our time.
They'll figure it out.
No, so.
Something will get worked out.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that wraps up everything we had scheduled. Mike, did you have anything to add about your E3 talk before you lagged out? Did you have anything else to say?
I did not. Just be on the lookout for Comic-Con. That's the next time we find out more legitimate info. That's it.
Okay.
And then if there's any leaks or anything, I'll post them in that topic on the forums. Any of you guys can post on that topic on the front page. Any like stuff you find out from like, oh hey, I got a guy whose friend's cousin works at EA or whatever. Like you can post in there and be like, check this out, whatever. Or any like leaks or anything you find on Reddit or anywhere on the internet, you could do that too. And then look out for July 10th, which is when we'll find more announced info.
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up. Do any of you guys have anything you want to say before we sign off?
Special thanks to Taylor for doing the stats all season. He's been OP at it.
Thank you, brother.
Just want to say happy birthday to Spongy.
Happy birthday to Spongy.
Oh, Spongy turned 12.
We don't know how old he is, but he's a man.
Almost Scars' age now. Scars is what, 14?
Scars
Yeah, I
has been
think they're
14
both-
for about 10 years.
I think
Yeah.
they're both around 14 now, yeah.
Delta, quit trying to put the whole BFC on tilt right now.
All right. Anybody else have anything to say?
Go, bot.
Go bot.
Go bot.
Yeah, go bot. There we go.
All right. Well,
I'm glad we're in one accord.
yeah, everybody's on the same page here. Bot for season 12 champions. As always, thank you for everybody for tuning in. Thank you to my lovely co-hosts, and thank you Crossfire and Delta for joining us. Thank you Stern, even though you didn't have a chance to make it inside the huddle this week. Thank you for doing work as always. It's always appreciated. Thanks for Splinter again. Thanks to Splinter again for the overlay, and Dark for the overlay that I've been using for the battles.
Good job to the Jedi guys as well for having a pretty good ladder
Yeah,
so far.
the Jedi ladder has been a major success.
We should be shouting out to the Jedi ladder. There is integral, and they're going to be as important to us in the future. So they've done a great job so far, and they're starting to get more active. And I encourage people to welcome them in.
Well, they're starting to learn how to like post battles and whatnot and report battles. And once they figured that out, they felt more comfortable. It just took a little while getting their feet wet and whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
Please continue to welcome them in. I know they've been around the chat box a lot lately, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, so definitely congratulations to you guys for having a good ladder. I know that's exciting for you all. This is a little maybe like a week early, but I just want on the topic of all this stuff. Be on the lookout for playoffs starting July. Playoffs start July 10th. The tournament also starts July 10th. And the PC Conquest ladder starts around that time too, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're working. I'm working on with Bomber on setting some lineups. I know Mike is probably going to be more involved with that because I don't have the PC version, but Bomber.
I don't either.
It's all right.
I got you, fam.
We can handle this. Oh, also, there is a. This might not appeal to too many people here. There is a. This is a mouthful. It's a PC EU 3v3 tournament this weekend. It actually starts Friday, and Crossfire and I are going to be commentating that. It starts.
Fun.
Yeah, it starts noon Eastern, and it's 4 matches in a row. We have no idea what the rest of the weekend looks like. Apparently, it's Saturday and Sunday too.
Which TV channel is that, sir?
It will be on mine.
Okay, it'll be on Telex.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be a BFC thing. It's going to be on another YouTube channel in the end. But I will be streaming it.
That's okay.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
that's fine.
It's definitely different. I'm looking forward to commentating it. I know Bomber is also going to be streaming a couple matches as well.
I think he's supposed to be commentating too.
Yeah, I think he is commentating. But that should be fun. And if you guys are interested in that, it'll be on my stream noon Friday. All right, but for real this time, we are out. Thank you all for tuning in as always. This has been T-Lug. This is State of the BFC. See you guys later.
Peace.